He was approached by composer Jerome Kern and lyricist Oscar Hammerstein with a revolutionary new musical. It was based on a popular new book by Edna Ferber. Showboat depicted the real lives of both whites and blacks on the Mississippi River. Social realism was not the stuff of conventional musicals. By the time Showboat opened in December 1927, Ziegfeld was sure he had a flop on his hands.
I think he was afraid that the audience wouldn't like it. And of course, opening night, he thought was a complete disaster because nobody shouted or clapped or anything. They just left the theater, and he thought he had a bomb.
It was strange. Some people were applauding very heartily, and others sort of were whispering with one another. You know, they weren't sure of it at all.
These rehearsal clips were shot during the original run of Showboat.
When you yell for a yell, give a man your heart and you must play yourself or you'll be on the shelf if you wait.
Early audiences didn't know what to make of Showboat because it was so different. The realistic characters were unlike any seen before in musical shows. In his early years on Broadway, Ziegfeld elevated vaudeville to new heights. Now, the visionary had transformed the American musical into an exciting new art form.
Showboat was a tremendously important musical because it represented the first time that any production had linked plot, character, music, and dance integrally.
It's not like looking at a play. It's not like looking at a musical. Somehow you have the feeling that you're stepping into a mystical world, and it comes to life in a way that no other show ever has, before or since. When you go home after seeing Showboat, it's as if you know those people personally.
Showboat was remarkable not only for its haunting music, but for its groundbreaking themes.
It was the first time that any producer in musical theater had dealt with very serious themes such as miscegenation, alcoholism, desertion. It was the first time also that blacks and whites had been linked on stage, where blacks had major performing roles.
Ziegfeld's fears about Showboat proved wrong. The show was a resounding hit, both with critics and with audiences.
Everybody loved it. Every night there was a sellout. Every night of any city that we played in, Boston, Detroit, Chicago, wherever, was always a sellout.
With the success of Showboat, Ziegfeld, at age 60, proved he could still bring the house down. It was his crowning achievement.
No one but Ziegfeld could have produced Showboat. No one had the stature, no one had the power at that time to draw from so many sources, the best designers, the best of everything. Only Ziegfeld could have produced Showboat. If Ziegfeld had done nothing but Showboat, Ziegfeld would have been, in my mind, the immortal producer of all times for Broadway. It was such a revolution.